Greetings, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you the most popular words you'll need to know to trade stock options, essentially the glossary of words to trade stock options. And if you're new, hi, I'm Linda. I talk about trading stock options primarily as a seller, and I love to talk about this. I'm not a licensed financial person, so take this as light education, light entertainment. Okay, so today's video, you will need to know some of the most popular used words in stock options to trade stock options so that you know what those words mean, you know how to use it, you know how it's applied. And if somebody pokes and prod at you, you'll know how to respond correctly in the right way and in the right definition. So I'm going to give you the word, the definition, and its right application. Okay, sometimes in the frame of the buyer, sometimes in the frame of a seller, and sometimes it's just neutral. I'm going to use my notes. I'm just going to go off right onto it. No editing. I'm just going to list the word here, explain it, and do my best to explain it to you. All right, so let's do it A to Z. Let's get to it. We have right here assignment. Assignment is when the option has been breached. Assignment is when for example, I'm selling a cash secure put at 100. The stock goes to 80, and now I have to buy the seller's shares. I'm assigned the shares at 100. Next one, at the money. At the money is the pricing of an option when the strike is right at the same price as the stock. If you look at the option chain, you'll see that all those numbers, and if you scroll down to the price of the actual in real time price of the stock, you'll see some type of differentiation of a dotted line or different shaded areas. That strike, which is very close, the closest to the stock, is at the money. Take note that at the money, the premiums are at its highest. Next one, break even. Break even is a mathematical term that when you buy or sell something, you're netting at a net zero or close to zero cost. That's break even. Next one is call option. A call option is the buyer of a call has the right but not the obligation to buy a price at buy the stock at a certain price at an agreed upon time. So in essence, the call is where the sentiment is thinking, the belief, the sentiment is that the asset will go up. The call option, the buyer in this case wants to get on the rise of it, and then the seller can provide the sentiment, the insurance on that option. Cash secure put. Cash secure put is having a put option secured by cash. So in this case, I'm a seller. I sell a put option. What is it secured with? It is secured with my cash. Next one is covered call. What is a covered call? A covered call is an option that is secured by shares of a stock. So an application, in this case, I'm selling a call, a covered call, and I'm using shares. I actually bought the shares and I'm putting an option on it. It's covered by those shares. Next word is credit. The credit is what it means is that it's a plus, an addition from either premium or sales that is credited to the account. Contract. What is a contract? In the world of options, everything is in a multiple of 100. 100 shares get you one contract. And from that contract, you can start selling and doing your math based off the one contract. If you're doing puts, you're going to have to multiply 100 times the strike that you're going to sell at. So a contract is the multiple of 100, and that is where you're going to base all of your mathematical, numerical formulas off of in terms of a contract, which is 100 of shares or 100 of the strike for a cash secure put. Next one is delta. Delta is another mathematical formula calculation of a risk change for every dollar moving up and down the strike. Now, in its application for me, I look at the Greeks as how safe it is, or how risky it is to being assigned or being called away. So if I made a cover call really, really close to the at the money, if you notice the delta is about 45, 50, 50, 50, it's like 0.5, but we call it 50 delta. In my frame, that means it has literally 50% chance of getting called because it's teetering right at the money line. It's really easy to see delta. Now, if I'm doing a really safe, for example, cover call, it might be delta 10, delta 5. And And when I say these numbers to someone else doing options, they exactly know what I mean. That they don't even need to know the strike or the ticker symbol. They said, "Oh, you're doing Delta 5. You're selling a really safe position. It's hard. It would be really unlikely for that position to be assigned or called away." So Delta is a formula, a mathematical formula to measure the risk of it being assigned. Expiration date. Options are based in time value. Every option put out there has a time portion glued right onto it that puts its value out there. So every option has an expiration date. And when it expires, it stops to exist. Extrinsic value. Extrinsic value is pure time premium or time value. It is usually the out the money, or it is all the options that is outside of its intrinsic equity. It's all time based, all the way down to its expiration date. It's pretty confusing to understand intrinsic and extrinsic, but it's the most one of the most important things you need to know. That options has this new concept of time based, and you have to know that time is money, time is valuable. So you need to know extrinsic, and in this case, full extrinsic means that it's all time based left. There's nothing that you put in, there's no equity in. It's all time based, and it's all heading to the expiration date. So the next one is intrinsic value. Okay, intrinsic value is time value plus the equity portion inside that option. So if I have money inside the option, I'm putting additional money inside of its option. That's the intrinsic plus the extrinsic value of its option time value. Option chain. The option chain is the premium pricing for the ticker symbol. All its dates, all of its premium pricing, all of the strikes available that is published. You will need to know the option chain. You need to know how to look at it, how to assess all the numbers for you to be a successful options trader. Out the money. Out the money is similar to extrinsic value. It is out of any extrinsic value. It's pure time based. Something I like to tell myself as out the money is it's out of danger. You're out into safety. So that's the one thing that keeps me to know what's out the money means. In the money. In the money is intrinsic value. You have the premium that is above, it's at the money, and has equity inside of the option itself. Something I like to tell myself, in the money means in danger. As far as a seller, I think of when it's in the money, it's in danger. So I want to be out the money. I want to be out of danger, or else I'm going to have to end up paying something to close or to continue rolling out that premium option. Premium is all the money that is collected from selling an option, or if I'm buying, to pay the option. For sellers, this is how I make my money, by collecting as much premium as possible. A put option. The put option is the right, but not the obligation, to sell your stocks at a certain price at a certain time. In this case, if I'm a buyer, I want to buy a put because I think the actual entity, the underlying stock, might go down, and I want to get an insurance to buy a put so that if it does go down, I'm caught at a certain level so that I don't risk all the way going to zero. Rolling. Rolling is a fantastical, wonderful tool to use. Rolling is closing a position and at the same time simultaneously opening up your next position in one swift move button push. So rolling is important because two things. One is pure convenience. With one button, I can end that position and roll the new position instead of closing it out, finding it on the option chain, and pushing some more buttons. The other really great thing about rolling is that if and when I'm in the money and it costs money to roll, I can roll to my new position and it acquires me more. It actually gives me more credit. So I don't have to look around for cash to make this new trade happen. Rolling is closing and simultaneously opening a new position. Spread. Spreads are a type for a same type. So I'm going to buy an option to sell against an option. It's the same type for a same type. In the world of options, it's a riskier set of tools to be approved for. So because there's margin involved compared to the lower tier, the first tier, if you buy a whole stock, if you have the cash, nothing, it's already covered. But when you do spreads, you have to buy a option, which is much cheaper, and you can sell an option against it, but you need to be approved for that tier access to trade spreads. A same type for a same type. That's a spread. Straddle. A straddle is buying a call, is handling a put and a call at the same strike point. Okay, so just visualize when you straddle a horse, the person sitting on is that same number. One leg is on the put, one leg is on the call, and is straddling that position with having the same strike. Strangle. Strangle is a different type where you have a call and a put at different price points, at different strike points, but the same ticker symbol. So you're covered on both sides, but at different strike points. Think of like when you strangle a person, you have the person in the middle, but there's a gap. One side is a call, one side is a put, and they're different strike points. Strike. Strike is, you have to know the strike. Strike is the numerical action where that takes place for the option is agreed upon. So the strike is a number that the option is put out. The buyer agrees at a certain strike. If it goes above, below, if it's a call or a put, if it gets exercised, that strike number, that's when action has to take place because it was agreed upon beforehand. So strike, you have to know. Underlying asset. Options is completely based on an underlying, the most basic source of an asset, because options are derivative and derivatives come from the source. And in this case, it comes from the actual stock or the ETF or the ticker symbol. So that is the underlying asset. Options is based off of the underlying asset. Okay, that was a mouthful. These are some of the most popular words that you'll need to know. Take note what they are, how they mean to you. Some of these are very new concepts, and you're going to need to know these new concepts to be a really good options trader, hopefully a seller. Any questions, please set below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.